Welcome to Cinema Bites, your go-to for movie recaps in a flash. Big twists, epic moments, all in just minutes the movie begins. With Null, who tells the creatures before him, I am Null. Thousands of years ago, they betrayed me and imprisoned me here. Since then, I've been unable to escape the prison. The key to the prison is one, and I've been searching for it for thousands of years. Until yesterday, I couldn't find it. But today, I learned that it's on the planet of Earth. If you can retrieve it, I'll grant you immense power beyond your current strength, and you'll become my men as I rule the Highlands. At that moment, Eddie is in the bar, and he tells Venom, your family from your world betrayed you. Venom says, they mocked my feelings. We got drunk heavily, but come, let's drink again to forget. They enter the bar forcefully, and against his will, they make him create a powerful mix. The bartender says, what's happening here? Eddie replies, I was born with this creature. The bartender says, what's going on, guys? And he leaves them and walks away. Suddenly, the reporter announces breaking news. Finally, the police have identified the killer of Officer Patrick, and the killer is Eddie, who's now on the run from the police. But how long will he remain on the run before being caught? Eddie tells Venom, our picture is now on satellite channels. Venom replies, so we've become famous. Eddie responds, famous? No, we're doomed. The police think we killed him. Venom says, but we didn't kill him. Eddie replies, no one will listen to us. We need to escape to Mexico. Venom asks, where will we go? They look at the statue and say, we'll go to New York. Before they leave the place, Eddie pays a large sum of money and tells the bartender, keep the change for us. They step outside. Venom asks, so how will we travel to America? Eddie replies, leave that to me. Don't worry at all. They hear something, so they enter a place. Eddie says, open this door, Venom. Venom opens it, and they walk inside. Venom says, it seems that this place is for a dog gang. Eddie replies, I hate dogs, buddy. Suddenly, four of them confront them. Their leader asks, who are you? You should be scared because you'll be torn apart now. Eddie replies, listen, there's a monster inside me. If it comes out, it'll mess you up. The leader says, everyone has monsters inside them, but they bring them out at the right time, and your time has come. Eddie says, I'm not joking. I'm serious. There's a monster inside me. If it comes out, believe me, it'll kill you. They all raise their weapons at him. Venom says, let me out. Eddie replies, don't you dare come out. Guys, for your own good, go home. This is in your best interest. Let me leave and take your dogs with you. One of the gang members pulls out this knife and threatens Eddie, saying, let it out. He goes after them. He opens up to the dogs, and after that, one of the gang thinks and runs away. He tells him, where are you going? He positions them next to each other and cuts her head off. He took out the dogs and walked and arrived at the place that Null sent him, but he did not see her. He slept. He saw Eddie's and walked from the place. At that time, Officer Rex was in the lab, and he was watching the video recorded by the cameras of the bar that he was in. He took support. He runs over there, and the person who was standing at the bar is about to touch the piece that Venom left behind. But Rex runs in and takes it in the box he has with him and says to him, tell me, what was the man who was here doing? He says to him, this is a possessed person who was pulling out arms and dancing with it. He tells the men that they will take him with them, and Dr. Teddy is asleep and still dreaming about what happened to her brother 10 years ago. The two of them were sitting by the sea, and a flash of lightning strikes them. They take her running from the place. She grabs her brother's hand, but a powerful lightning bolt descends on them, separating them. Her hands were disfigured and her brother is dying. She wakes up to a message from her fellow doctor. She gets dressed and runs to the lab. She finds out who they brought. Officer Patrick must still be alive. Dr. Sadie. She plays with him and gives him a massage. She gets dressed and the lab technician tells her, I'm coming with you. She says, where are you coming from, Patrick? We don't know what happened to him. How is he supposed to be alive now? There must be something wrong. It's not unlikely that there is an alien in his body. He tells her, I have nothing to do with him. I'm coming with you. And he actually goes in with her. Sadie tells her his heartbeat is very fast. Teddy tells him, Patrick, I'm Teddy. Can you check on me? He leaves. She quickly tells him, are you okay? He tells her, I'm very tired. There are a lot of things that make very sick, and I can't find anyone to listen to me. She tells her, who are you? He tells her, you have to go out because you're in danger. She asks her, from whom? She tells her, from Null. She tells her, and who is Null? You tell her that there is a monster imprisoned in another world. Its key is a spot on planet Earth, and if we find this key, you will all be in. She tells her, who are we all? He tells her all of our world. Patrick is holding his brain, and at that time, Venom is holding his hands in his plane. He transferred to Venom, and the alien, which he's searching for, sees him and flies towards him. As soon as he sees him, he gets terrified of him and runs away from him. The alien attacks him. He pushes him into the plane and cuts him. Venom enters Eddie because he was scared from the alien. So Eddie asked him why he was so scared from him like this. So he told him, I will tell you when we land. While he was falling from the plane and almost touching the land, but Venom didn't want to appear, but Eddie used it as a parachute and landed safely. At that moment, Martin was traveling with his family. Suddenly, the alien descends upon them, torn apart. He's about to attack him, but he escapes at the last moment. He says to his family, who threw this on the road? Are you all okay? A woman answers, we're fine. The alien begins to reappear. Eddie says to Venom, now explain to me who attacked us on the plane. He says, that's a creature from the Xenovatch. He replies, oh, so that's why you're scared of it. He says, no, it was sent by my father. He asks, really? Your father is still alive? He replies, no, I mean our father, all of us. He's the one who creates all the symbiotes. It's not as simple as you think. Our father is a monster. We all lived on our planet, but his intentions weren't pure. He wanted to take over our entire world. We built him a prison, a chair to imprison him. To escape, he needs the codex. He asks, what's the codex? He replies, it's the key to his prison. He asks, what's your father's name? He replies, his name is Null. He says, Null? Don't ever say his name again. He replies, all right, but do you have the codex or the key? He replies, exactly. You and I are the key to his prison. As long as we're alive, the key exists. One of us has to die for the key to disappear. He says, why don't we go finish him off? He replies, are you joking? Nobody in our or your world can stop him. He replies, then why are you using the beasts he sends? he replies. These beasts aren't easy either. If I kill one, another will appear. They're endless. When I appear in my body, these beasts sense my location, and the closest one comes to me. But when I hide, they see nothing. He asks, what if the beast captures you? He replies, it'll take me to Null, open his prison with me, and he'll come out and destroy the worlds. No one will be able to stop him. He asks, why don't we get rid of the key so he doesn't escape? He replies, I told you one of us has to die. That way, Null's prison key is destroyed. He says, all right, let's go hide in New York. They look ahead and see a horse. He asks, can you enter it without killing it? He replies, of course. He approaches the horse, enters it, and tries to take flight in the desert. Meanwhile, Dr. Teddy tells Trixie, the symbiote looks amazing. They land on the ground with their parachute to retrieve their colleague, but they're captured. One of his men says, sir, there's an urgent call. They've just arrived at the airport. The pilot says there was a strange creature on the plane, and another beast attacked it and landed in the forest. He says, send me the location. He moves but finds the force descending upon him. He blows a whistle, and of course, he hates this situation. He jumps into the water, exits the horse, and runs towards Eddie. But the pilot pulls Eddie, and he runs after him. Eventually, he catches Eddie too. Venom continues chasing, but they trap him in a net. Eddie fights back and runs to catch his breath. Venom sees Eddie in the water, jumps on him, and transfers. Eddie says, disappear so the beast doesn't find you. He replies, it doesn't matter as long as you're alive. The beast spots him from afar and flies towards him. He appears at the location. Venom quickly disappears. The soldiers attack the beast. He flings them one by one. Rixie calls Teddy and says, a new beast has appeared and all my men are dead. She's shocked and goes to Patrick. She says to the symbiote inside him, it seems your words were true. He exits, circles the area, and she asks, what are you looking for? He replies, Venom, the black symbiote. He holds the codex, the key to Null's prison. If the beast captures him, it'll hand him Null. Null will escape and nothing green or dry will remain. She asks, what's the solution? She replies, either Eddie dies or Venom dies. With the death of one, Null's prison key is destroyed and Null remains imprisoned forever. Rixie says, I'm not sacrificing my men again. I'm done. I'm out of this. She leaves them and walks away. At that moment, Eddie finds Martin and his family relaxing. He greets them and says, Martin, can you give me a ride? I want to go to New York. Martin replies, son, you're in Paris. I'll take you to Vegas. And from there, you can go wherever you want. They take him in the car and on the way, they sing. Venom sings along. Eddie falls asleep and wakes up to find himself Vegas. He thanks Martin. He leaves him. Eddie continues walking until he enters the place. Venom hits the security guy and took his clothes dressing up in his suit. They go in and the security welcomes them warm. Even in one game, they lose all the money they have. He meets his neighbor, goes to her, and she says to him, do you remember me? She says to him, I have become one of the richest people in the world. He says to her, please take me with you wherever you go. She says to him, Venom is with you. He says to her, yes. She takes him to her house. She says to him, let's dance. He went out to her and the monster saw him from afar. Venom kept dancing with her. He raised the bar to the top and the monster attacked them. The monster leaves and Rix and his men attack them and beat them with the whistle. Venom comes out of Eddie and they take him in a bottle. They hold Eddie and they also take him with them and put him in the lab. Sadie says to Teddy, he doesn't want to calm down at all. She replies, it seems that he can't stay away from his friend. She tells her, come on, let's go up to his friend. Teddy goes up, but Sadie stays in front of him. At that moment, Eddie sees Patrick in front of him. He says to him, are you still alive? This is not the time. We have to get out of here, Eddie. He says to him, who are you? He also tells him, I am not alone here. There is an army of symbiotes here. You must get her out and take Venom and protect it. Don't let them in. Null can't get out of his prison. The doctor enters. She tells him, how are you, Eddie? He asked her, where is Venom? She replies that he is safe and Rex enters and tells them, finally, there is no more symbiotes outside. Get out now. You have nothing to do with what will happen. Leave me alone. I will deal with them. Eddie, you were the reason for the death of my men. They come out from inside and he shoots him in his heart. Venom is in Dr. Sadie, and before Eddie dies, he comes out of her and enters him and tells him that he will regret. They shoot him with weapons and they do not affect him. The monster was about to take Venom, but the symbiote that is in Patrick comes out from inside, grabs him by the neck and says to Venom, run quickly. The monster swallows it and Venom runs outside and the wall falls on it. The doctor tells him to get out all the symbiotes in the place. They run to the machine. He gets out all the symbiotes. Each symbiote enters its body, which is suitable for it. They face the monster and none of them is able to control it. Sadie is thinking about the last symbiote. Teddy tells her to take him and she opens it and she actually takes him and she says to Venom to run and she goes to the monster and she is the only one who can control him and two of them together remain tying the monster and everyone runs away. And Martin passes by with his family and is shocked and the monster faces Eddie, but he finds symbiotes surrounded and they are attacking him from every direction. Rex says to his men, finish Venom off. Let's get rid of this monster. Eddie goes up to this tower to Martin and his family and he tries to act bravely, so he took the bazooka and hit the symbiote, which tying the monster, Sadie says don't shoot fire. He shoots and kills the symbiote who is holding the monster and the tower, which is Martin and his family, is about to fall, but Venom catches up in the last moments. Sadie says to Rex, why did you kill him? You know that symbiotes. He dies in the fire. We are with you, not against you. He tells her, the important thing is that the monster dies, but the monster gathers his body again and everyone is in extreme shock. It makes a sound. He sends a message to the rest of his men. They arrive at the place and Sadie also hits them and say they keep them busy, but the monsters control them. Venom says to me, what are we gonna do? He says to him, I have an idea. He tells him, come on, let's go. He takes this motorcycle and Venom comes out to him. All the monsters saw it and run after him. Sadie tells him to cut off his head with the airplane's propeller. Venom takes the propeller and flies at the monster, blowing his head off, but the second monster runs at it, hits him, and brings him to the ground. Eddie gets hurt and he raises him up. He's about to eat him, but Martin shoots him in the mouth. The monster returns to its place and the monsters increase in number. Martin takes his family and runs away. As for the injury, Eddie was deeply hurt in his stomach. stomach. Venom took him aside and said to him, "This is the first time I feel that I am tied up. I have arrived because I am unable to treat him." And almost Noel, "Send the entire Xenofitch army. You know what is supposed to happen." He said to him, "Let's get rid of these monsters." He said to him, "You are right. We have to escape from here." He tells him that they will not leave him alone. He tells him that there is no solution except that we get rid of them all now. He tells him that this is what will happen. He heals his wounds and tells him, "Let's go." Eddie comes out, and Venom emerges on his monstrous body. He runs toward him, gathering them all into his body, leaving everyone in utter shock. Venom looks at Rix. He tells him, "Open the gasoline." Rix goes to open the gasoline. Venom keeps pulling them until he takes them all under the gasoline nozzle. He ejects Eddie from his body. He tells him, "I never loved, nor will I ever love anyone as much as you, Eddie. Promise me you'll never forget me or our friendship. Take care, my friend." He pours gasoline on them. He extends a part of himself to Eddie, but Venom closes the door on himself. He tells him, "We'll miss you." Then he detonates a bomb, causing the entire place to explode. Eddie watches the fire erupt. That dose from the lab contains a small piece of symbiote. It breaks, and the symbiote enters her body, transforming her. She gains strength and escapes the fire quickly. She is thrilled with her newfound power, while Eddie is deeply saddened by Venom's loss. He faints and wakes up to find himself in a hospital. The officer tells him, "I know everything that happened. I'll let you continue living your life as you are, but if you ever speak a word about the aliens and what happened, I'll come for you, and no one will know where you are. Take care, Eddie." The officer leaves him and walks away. Eddie steps outside, heading toward the statue Venom always wanted to see. He remembers everything that happened between them. Their jokes, adventures, games, arguments, and sadness. Feeling utterly alone, he reaches the statue that Venom wanted to see and says, "I'll never forget you, my friend." Noel says, "I feel that the black symbiote is still alive, and if my feeling is right, what happened won't happen again. I'll bring him back, get out of my prison." If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos.